part of the excitement this past week at Muirfield Village was watching the guys have to play the shot that I think even the pros think is the hardest shot in golf. The fairway bunker shot. I hate fairway bunker shots.
We did see a lot of them this weekend, no question about it, and they're very challenging.
How do you hit?
Well, you see quite a bit out of at Harbortown. Let me ask you this before we talk about how to hit it. What do you see as the biggest mistake that players make when they try to hit out of a fairway bunker? Is it a mishit, the wrong club? What do you think you see?
I think I see them just not knowing what to do.
Not knowing what to do.
You know, do I treat it like a greenside bunker and just blast my way out? Or do I try to make a full swing? What do I do? The thing I've always tried to keep in my head with a fairway bunker shot, the one little lesson that I've stuck was keep the lower body still.
Yeah, that's a great one. That's part of one of the things I'm going to go over.
And it has helped me in using like a hybrid out of a long fairway bunker. Sure. To keep the lower body still, and you're apt not quite as often to scull it or chunk it.
Well, you're going to stay a little bit steadier, absolutely. Yeah. But, you know, when you get your ball in a fairway bunker, I think there's two things you need to establish right away. Number one, what kind of lie do you have?
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, as much as you'd like that ball to be sitting, and you saw it at Muirfield this weekend, that sand's nice and tight, and the ball seemed to be sitting up so they could play shots. But a lot of times you might get to a fairway bunker and the ball's sitting down just a little bit, and that's when you really got to make sure you understand that you're going to have to take your medicine and just get the ball out. Besides the lie, we've also got to check and see how big of a lip do we need to get over. Because once again, getting in a bunker, the number one priority is to
get out.
Get it out. So those are two things I think you should initially check when you get to your ball. What's the lie? How big of a lip do you need to get over? All right, let's say that we have a lie that's pretty decent. And the lip's not too bad, and we can get to the green. We're going to hit our approach shot, and we can get to the green. We have options, okay? So the first thing I like to see people do when they go in the fairway bunker, number one, you need to take a little bit more club for two reasons.
At least one,
maybe two more? At least one, maybe two,
Yep.
for a couple reasons. Number one, we're going to be choking down on the club when we go in to hit it. So we're going to be taking a little bit of the arc off the club, so it's not going to have quite as much speed when it comes through. So you're probably not going to hit that club your usual distance.
Okay.
The second thing, when you're hitting the ball off of the sand, hitting it off of the sand, especially if you do hit it clean, is going to produce generally a little bit more spin. And spin is also going to take a little bit of distance off of the ball. So that's something else you need to consider. Okay, we checked the lie, we checked the lip, we're good. Now we've got to pick our club. And let's say we have 150 yards, and generally your 7-iron is your 150 club on an average day. Take it down to your 6-iron. How many times do you see somebody hit it over the green out of a fairway bunker when they're that far away?
Not very often.
Yeah, not very often, exactly. So we want to make sure we take enough club, okay? So going down that one, maybe 2 clubs, always a good idea. All right, let's get in the bunker and talk about hitting the shot, okay? Like Bob alluded to earlier, one of the things we have to make sure happens during our swing is that our lower body, from the belt down, stays pretty still. The more motion you get in the lower body, either side to side or up and down, the easier it's going to be to either hit behind it or to hit it a little too thin. Hitting it too thin probably is going to leave it right in that bunker, and that's not what we want.
No.
Okay? So like I said, we get in the bunker, make sure we're choked down, and as you can see, I'm choked down a good inch or two here, and that's pretty standard for where I'm going to take it on a fairway bunker shot. Because we've got to make sure we hit the ball clean. Hitting it behind it isn't going to do us any good, okay? One of the other things I like to do when I'm in a fairway bunker is I like to put the ball back maybe just a touch.
Okay.
Just a little bit. If anything, we want to err on the side where we're going down. If we have it too far up in our stance, once again, how many times have you seen somebody hit behind it and the club goes ricocheting into it, or they catch it fat?
Okay.
Okay. Now, last thing. Once you get over it and get the ball back, we want to make sure with our swing that we're not coming down into it too steep. That's the thing that I see the most out of golfers, is I see them coming in with an angle of attack where the club, they're trying to come in, and it's coming in too steep. We want to keep this nice and shallow coming in, and the way you can do that is with your stance. I like to take a little bit wider stance in the bunker than I normally would with whatever club I have, for the simple reason, like Bob said, it helps me keep my lower body steady for a longer period of time and makes it so I have a shallower angle of attack. So I think if our viewers look at those,
almost less of it, you're thinking from a divot standpoint, kind of like a divot in the fairway.
That's right.
You don't want to be, even though you've got you can dig it out, You don't want to.
You don't want to. You want to, like I said, keep it as clean as possible. So I think if you give that a try at home, you might improve your fairway bunker play.
All right. We hope you enjoyed the show this week. We'll be back and see you next time right here on Golf Center.